Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at and installing our Roadmaster diode wiring kit for our 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. So if you're thinking about doing a flat tow, there's quite a few things you're going to need. You're going to need your base plate kit, and that's going to be what hooks up to your tow bar. You're going to need your tow bar system, which we have here. That's an absolute must. You're going to need your battery disconnect, which disconnects your battery while you are flat towing. And you're going to also have to have a braking system, whether that's air or electric. This one runs on air, so that's the system we have installed on this one. Another thing you're going to need is also your safety cables. You got these attached down here. We're going to need those, so we have those. And then you're also going to need your diode wiring. What that's going to do is going to make all of your lights work in the back that you're going to have to keep it legal, and also you have your indicators in the back so the people behind you can see, and that's what we have plugged in right here in the front. Our diode wiring is going to be set up so it will keep us legal going down the road, and now people can see us. As you can see, we have the left turn signal on, and what that's doing is the signal from our RV is running back to our truck and running back through our wiring through here. Basically, it's almost like setting up trailer wiring, but it's for your truck. It's going to be keeping you legal and keep you seen going down the road when you're pulling flat tow behind your RV. Now, to have our diode wiring work, you got to have a cord that comes from your RV back to your truck. So they have different styles of these available. They have the straight kind, they have the longer, they have different lengths, the curly type. So it's kind of up to you what you want to have set up for that. But basically what it does is you're running a signal from here back to the front of the truck, and it's shooting that signal of what's going on here all the way to the back. And it's a must to have for when you're flat towing. You absolutely have to have it. So it's one of those things. Installation for it is not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. I do recommend doing it all at once. It kind of makes things a little bit easier when you're getting everything set up to flat tow. If it's something you want to do yourself, stick around and watch our video. If it's something you don't want to do yourself, you can always take a look at the dealer locator, or they can get something assigned for you locally. Now, to begin our install of our diode wiring, we're going to end up running this through the back, and we'll show you how we ran it. We left enough line where we're going to be able to hook it into our plug-in. So we ran it up over the frame. We followed our frame rail back, and back there you can see where your steering column comes out, and down you can see the boot. We had to tie off away from that and continued down the frame. And one thing you need to keep in mind when you're doing this, you want to keep it away from any heat sources and any moving parts. So we went on top of our frame, came across, and we ended up tying off to a line here over our cross member and back, and we ended up coming back and running into more line here, ran all the way across, keeping it high on top of our frame, tying all off as long as we go, following our lines across the top of the frame, going over past our gas tank on top of the frame, tying off as we go. Now we come back here above our rear differential, and you can see we went across the top of our frame, tied off to the frame itself here in the back, just to keep it away from our shocks, our differential, and our exhaust. Came here, and we're going to shoot up. Now on the back of our truck, we need to get our tail light housings out. We have a T15 screw, and we're going to go ahead and get those out. Now just pull straight back, and you'll see your wiring here in the back. Just want to undo, quarter turn our top bulb. Now pull back on our red tab, push in on our center black clip, and pull that loose. Pull our wiring harness out of our holder. Now we can remove our light. Now you can see we have our 4-pole wiring pulled through. Now we have our wiring pulled out of our sheathing. And we did do a test. We found out that we need to be working from our green and our brown. So we're going to have those pulled out. We're just going to go ahead and cut those wires now. We will be tying into both of those. Now we're going to strip off all of our ends that we just cut. Now we have all of our wires cut to where we want them, and we have our white ground wire. We're going to end up mounting back here. We have our green wire pulled away from the rest of our harness, and that's going to go over to the passenger side. Now we have our wire stripped back for our ground. We're going to put our ring terminal on, get that right where we want it, and we'll just crimp that to our wire. Take our self-tapping screw and ground right here to the inside of our truck bed. With our wire stripped back and twisted, I do like to roll mine over. It gives it a little more to hold on to. Now let's get that pushed into our connector. And get that crimped in place. And I always like to check, make sure we have a good connection, a good solid crimp. Now with our brown wires, we are going to double these up. We have a piece that we cut off, and we're going to double this over and into our wire that's coming up on our driver's side. Now I have it stripped back, and I'm just going to put these guys together. I like to go like this because it'll make a really good solid connection between these two sets of wires. Basically winding them together. And this is why they gave you the yellow one, because we're going to have these connected together. Bring that on there, and we'll get that crimped together. All of our wires we have here, we're just going to go ahead and put our blue ends on each of these and crimp them on. All of our wires here coming out of our original harness. On our diode, we have our out arrow, and that is going to go towards our plug, which will go out to our light. Just want to get that clicked in place. And now our yellow wire will go into our green diode. Just get that clicked in place. And now our green will come into the bottom of our diode as well. This comes from our factory harness. And just get that clicked in place. Take the backing off both of my diodes, and I'm going to just stick these together. Get those stuck together. Now I'll continue on with my wiring. We'll take my brown and run it to the out on our diode. Run our brown into the in. Then our other brown that is going to go to the other side. Also into the in of our diode. Ran our green wire and our brown wire down and across and hit it up in the lower portion of our bed. Just got it all tied up and ran across. We brought it up in to the channel, up into our passenger side tail light housing, and now we'll show you how we have it all hooked up. We have our diode with both of our browns coming in to this diode and then out to brown into our plug that goes to our tail light. Now we have our green that came across from the other side coming in to the in of our diode, along with our factory wiring. It comes out of our harness into our diode, coming out to our green wire that leads to our plug, and this will run to the taillight. Now all we have to do is reinstall our taillight housing. Now we push our clip in, our red clip in, reinstall our reverse light bulb, get everything to slide back in place, and tighten down our T15 screws. Now we're going to get our plug set up. With this, you want to keep an eye on the back of it. You can see all your little letters on the back. You do want to refer to your instruction manual and make sure you're getting these all correct, because once you get these together, you want to make sure they are right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have GD, and that is going to be our ground, and that's going to be our white wire. So we'll just get that put in place. Push that down on there as far as you can. Try and not have any wires come out like that. You want them all to stay in there. We don't have any kind of shorts. Now we'll just tighten down our screw. Get it on there nice and tight. Now we have LT, and we're going to take our yellow wire and run it to that. Same thing, just want to make sure you get all the little wires down into its slot. You may have to twist it a couple times to get it right. Now our green wire is going to go to RT. Now we have TM, and that is going to be our brown. That is basically going to be your taillights. Now we have all of our connections made. We just want to go back through and get some silicone on here, and that's going to prevent any kind of corrosion on our terminals. I like to get some on there first, all the way around. Get everything down on the bottom. Now we'll take our boot, get that put in place. Now we'll take our silicone and just fill until it starts to come out. Get a little around this edge. Any that comes out, just kind of bring it around. It's going to seal everything up. Now we have our plug-in all screwed into place. Now all you have to do is hook it up to your RV, or if you have a test box, just plug it in, check all your functions, and you're good to go. Now that we have all of our flat toe components installed and put in where we want them, we're going to go back through, clean up all of our wires, and then we'll start putting our fascia back on in the reverse order that we took it off. And that was a look at our Roadmaster diode wiring for our 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. I'm Scott with eTrailer. Thanks for watching.